x equals 2. What I would like to do is compare this one to, for example, x squared minus x equals 2. So, say that again? Yeah, we are going to do that, but let's, not, kind of. Let's move this over first, leaving us with the x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. How many x's do I have?
2,
In the middle here.
3, 1.
You have 1. So we're going to factor it. What two numbers multiply to give me negative 2 and add up to negative 1? X minus 2 and x plus 1 equals 0. So negative 2 times 1 give me negative 2. And remember, they have to add up to the middle number, which is negative 1. So we have to consider both situations. And x minus 2 could be 0, and x plus 1 could be 0. So x minus 2 equal to 0, x plus 1 equal to 0, and we consider both options. What is x going to be? 2? And that one's going to be negative 1. We're going to do the same thing here with this. The only difference is that we have secant squared instead of just an x squared. I'm going to factor it exactly the same way. So I'm going to list my factors. Well, first of all, I've got to move my 2 over. So I've got secant squared of x minus the secant of x minus 2 equals 0. Sean, can you grab the door? Thank you. So let's factor it. We're going to factor it exactly the same way that this factors. So we've got the secant of x. Remember, it was x squared and we wrote x. We're going to have secant of x here also. Minus 2 and plus 1. So we have the secant of x minus 2, secant of x plus 1 equals 0. And then we have to put them both equal to 0. Because we have to figure out what value of x would make this equal to 0 and what value of x would make this equal to 0. So we have the secant of x minus 2 equals 0. I add 2 to each side. The secant of x is equal to 2. Weird. What am I going to think of it instead? How am I going to think of it instead? Cosine. So I'm going to put a little note to myself here. I'm really looking for where the cosine of x is equal to 1/2. Because 2 means 2 over 1. The reciprocal of secant is cosine. So I'm looking for 1/2. Where is the cosine? 1/2. So help me out here. What is it? Pi over 3. Okay, thank you. Pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. All right, thank you guys. We need to consider this option now. So we have the secant of x plus 1 equals 0. And I subtract 1 from each side. So the secant of x is negative 1. Okay? Secant of x is negative 1, which really means the cosine of x is equal to the reciprocal of this. What is the reciprocal of negative 1? Negative 1. So where is the cosine value negative 1? I think it's at pi. It's at pi, 180 degrees, pi.